Why mess with perfection is the theme of Endwalker's Black Mage. And having gone hands-on with it and playing it on a controller, I can tell you that I'll be making some significant adjustments to my layout in the future, but this is all for good reason. The job feels better than ever before, and perhaps it's actually the best looking spell effects that I've seen in the game to date. Overall, I feel the Black Mage just keeps getting better, but keen eyes will also see that while the skill floor has been raised with the removal of Enochian as an ability, it's been upgraded to a trait, the skill ceiling is still just as high as ever. The Black Mage has new spells, new abilities, and brings the boom like never before. And honestly, I'm so excited for you to go hands-on with it in Endwalker. So with that, let's go ahead and dive into everything that's changed with the Black Mage. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Brian if you're new around here, and if you're a returning subscriber, for watching this video, you unlock the title Caster Supreme. That's what you get for subscribing, by the way, free titles to rep in-game and in the real world. So if you feel this video does earn your sub, please let me know in the comments so I can officially welcome you to the channel and you can unlock your new title. Now with this video, I'm going to focus in on two key areas with the theme of how does this play on a controller. The first part of the video is going to go over the Black Mage's traits, and there are a lot of them now, by the way. And we're also going to then dive into the skills, highlighting the ones that are new and also showing you how old skills have been changed. Note that all footage of this game is pre-release footage and has not undergone any of the final adjustments. All the content here is subject to change, even significant drastic change, mind you. So I wouldn't worry or stress over any of the numbers, potencies that you see in this video or other videos here on this channel. And finally, before we dive into the core aspect of this video, Yoshi P did want to pass along his sincere thank yous to all those in the medical field fighting and working hard against the COVID pandemic. He wanted to pass that along, and I want to echo his thanks to each and every one of you guys, both on the front lines and in the labs behind the scenes, working to help bring this to a resolution. So thank you from Yoshi P, and thank you from Ginger Prime. Across the board with all the different jobs, their traits have seen a really reworking or rethinking of how they work, and I couldn't be more excited. Take, for example, Black Mage's first trait, Aspect Mastery. This was a later trait that you actually earned later, but what they've done here is they've taken Magic and Mend, they've taken Aspect Mastery, and they've rethought how it works on Black Mage. So if we take a look just at this ability, first, yes, it makes sense that you get your Astral Fire or Umbral Ice stack. In this case, starting off at level 1, you get your 1 stack. That's used to be what Magic and Mend actually function as. But what happens now is that while actually under this effect at level 1, whether you cast your Fire or your Ice, jumping from one to the other, is going to not consume any MP. Where you didn't see this until much later in the game as a Black Mage job. Right now, level 1, you have that baked into the job. This obviously does not apply to Flare still. So starting at level 1, big change. Then you see Mage and Men coming in for the Magic and Men, filling in that damage boost. So that's a change right across the board. Aspect Mastery 2 will allow you to have 2 stacks, and then you can kind of just continue to drop down. Now, Aspect Mastery 2 is also kind of taking the place of where Mage and Men was originally earned at level 20, so it's just kind of splitting that out at the same time. Thundercloud has no changes across the board. It's still going to give you that 18 seconds, where it's going to give you that 10% chance that each of your Thunder spells, or whatever Thunder spell on the enemies, is going to have a chance to proc, and it costs no MP and do more damage. Then at level 35, you get Aspect Mastery 3. This allows for the third stacking of Astral Fire or Umbral Ice, and casting Fire 2 or Blizzard 2 will grant maximum stacks of Fire or Ice respectively. Then you see Mage and Mend 2 coming in from Magic and Mend at level 40, giving you that increased damage and healing restoration. Fire Starter continuing to be awesome and do exactly what it needs to do at level 42, no changes there. Thunder Mastery upgrading Thunder to Thunder 3, and then Thunder Mastery 2 upgrading Thunder 2 to Thunder 4. No changes across the board, levels are remaining the same. Now we see Enochian increasing the base damage dealt by 5% while under the effect, in this case being a trait at level 56, as opposed to a skill, how it worked in Shadowbringer. So that's always on, keeping Fire and Blizzard available to you when you're in the correct aspect. Then you can see Enhanced Umbral Heart is no more. This reduces the MP required to cast Flare because it is no longer needed based off the changes of how the job functions. So I don't think people are going to miss that one all that much. It feels really natural, especially with how Aspect Mastery has changed in that regards. Enhanced Freeze is still going to give you, in this case, it's going to give you 3 Umbral Hearts by casting Freeze, and you get it at level 58 as opposed to level 68 now. So that's kind of a big buff to especially the earlier game Black Mages out there as they're leveling. Enhanced Enochian has the same effect as it did previously. It's going to grant the effect of Polygon upon maintaining your Enochian for 30 seconds. So in this case, you're not really maintaining Enochian because it is that trait, but making sure that you don't end up having your element, your astrals fall off, or your umbrals fall off accordingly. Enhanced Sharpcast is going to reduce the recast timer to 30 seconds, so nothing has changed about that. You'll see Enhanced Nokian 2, which is going to improve your base damage by 15%, and this is coming in at level 78. Enhanced Polygon is going to give you a second stacking of Polygon at level 80, so that has remained unchanged. Now, as we dive in more, at level 80, you're now going to have Enhanced Foul. This allows for the immediate casting of Foul, has no cast timer. It is an instant cast ability, and it feels great when you're doing that. Aspect Mastery 4 is going to upgrade Fire 2 and Blizzard 2 to High Fire 2 and High Blizzard 2 at level 82. Enhanced Mana Font is going to reduce Mana Font's recast time by 120 seconds. Enhanced Enochian 3 is going to improve Enochian's magic base damage increase to 20% at level 86. Enhanced Sharpcast is going to now turn Sharpcast into a charged action spell at level 88, and this is really, really awesome. I'm very happy to see Sharpcast move into a charged action. And then finally, Aspect Mastery 5. It's going to add a Paradox marker to your Elemental Gauge. The marker is made active after reaching Astral Fire 3, then swapping to the opposite element. Conversely, the marker can also be made active after reaching Umbral Ice 3 and gaining 3 Umbral Hearts, then swapping to the opposite element. So you get it immediately with Astral Fire 3, you get it with Umbral Ice 3 and 3 Umbral Hearts. So there's that extra caveat there to be able to get that extra Paradox spell, which looks phenomenal. All right, let's break down the changes in spells. Black Mage, not a lot changing with certain spells, so we can go through this pretty quickly for you. Blizzard is remaining the same, no potency changes there. Fire is remaining the same, no potency changes there. Same additional effect, a 40% chance Fire 3 will cost no MP and have no cast time is available. Now the duration on this has increased from 18 seconds to 30 seconds, so a small adjustment there, a needed one in my opinion, so I'm happy to see that come in as an option. Transpose is still doing exactly what it's set to do, and so no changes there. Now Thunder, the only change that really happens across Thunder and the Thunder spells that you'll see right away is the duration of the additional effect, the 10% chance after each tick that the next Thunder spell of any grade is going to add its full damage over time, amount to its initial damage, have no cast time and no MP, is moved up to 21 seconds. It's important to note, if you don't know what I'm talking about, is that when you cast Thunder, if Thundercloud procs on an enemy, you get an instant powerful Thunder spell. Typically Thunder is like putting out a dot, but this just gives you an extra thing that you can do, and using Sharpcast will actually guarantee that. So with 2 stacks of Sharpcast, you could actually have Thunders raining for days on various enemies. It feels really good. Sleep has now actually been moved to a roll action as opposed to a spell only the Black Mage has access to. So note that is a change with Sleep. Blizzard 2, it looks like from the core of it, you have deals ice damage with a potency of 90 to a target and all enemies nearby it. It's got an additional effect. It's going to grant Umbral Ice 3 and remove Astral Fire, and that's going to last for 15 seconds as a part of that countdown, as opposed to just dealing 50 damage to all nearby enemies. So a boost all around with Blizzard 2. Scathe remains unchanged in Endwalker. Fire 2 has a potency increase of 10 in this case, and other than that, it's going to grant your Astral Fire 3 when cast. Thunder 2 has a slight change in its potency, going from 30 to 25, with a duration increase going from 12 to 18 seconds, and then the duration of the additional effect has a 3% after each tick to proc Thunder again is going to last for 21 seconds. So that's the slight adjustment to Thunder 2. In this case, Mana Ward is going to create a barrier that nullifies damage totaling 30% of maximum HP. Still level 30, no changes to Mana Ward there. Fire 3 is going to deal fire damage with a potency of 240. Also, it's going to grant you Astral Fire 3 and removes Umbral Ice. No changes there outside of the fact that Fire 3 is now learned at 35. as opposed to level 34. Ethereal Manipulation allows you to rush to a target member's side. No changes for Ethereal. Mana font has been reduced from 180 seconds to 120 seconds, and it's still going to restore 30% of your maximum MP as a Black Mage. Blizzard 3 has got no changes across the board, so it is still doing exactly what you expect it to do. Now, Freeze is going to have some slight adjustments here. The ice damage and potency has been increased to 120 from 100, and it's going to grant 3 Umbral Hearts that nullifies Astral Fire's MP cost, thus increasing fire spells and reduces MP cost of Flare by 1/3. And you can only execute this under Umbral Ice. So just know that those minor changes there. Also, Freeze has been moved from level 35 to level 40, so it's been pushed forward a little bit in your leveling path. Thunder 3, potencies are going to remain the same. The duration remains the same. The percentage of the additional effect remains the same. The only thing is the duration of the additional effect has been increased from 18 seconds to 21 seconds, and it's still at level 45. Flare is going to have its potency reduced slightly. Damage deals fire to all enemies nearby it with a potency of 220 for the first enemy and 40% less. So this is a 40-point drop from the 260 of Shadowbringers. But what it does do in terms of its Astral Fire is it's going to give you 3, but it can only be executed while under Astral Fire. So you cannot move from ice to flare in this case. Ley lines, no changes across the board, still at 90 seconds, still at level 52. Sharp cast is get that charger, you get it as a charged action with the roll, but it's still level 54. Ensures the next Scathe, Fire, Thunder is going to trigger their additional effect accordingly. And so, yeah, that's going to be great for what you need. Enochian has been removed as an ability, and it is now a trait. Blizzard 4 has its potency remain the same. It's still granting you 3 Umbral Hearts, still nullifying Astral Fire, reducing MP cost for Flare by 1/3, and obviously can only be executed under Umbral Ice. Still at level 58. Fire 4, powerful fire spell. It remains, its potency remains unchanged. Obviously, you still need Astral Fire to be on to be able to cast Fire 4, so you can't go from Blizzard to Fire 4. You got to figure that out. You'll get it. It's going to feel natural there. Between the lines, returning your ley lines to you at level 62 remains unchanged. Thunder 4 has its potency remain the same. Its timing remain the same, but its duration of the additional effect has been increased by from 18 to 21 seconds. Then you see triple cast is still no changes between those as well. Foul, in this case, has its potency reduced, so this is going to deal unexpected damage to a target and all enemies nearby, with the potency of 600 for the first enemy and 50% less for additional remaining enemies. This is a drop from 650 and then 25% less from enemies. So across the board, a kind of a big nerf to Foul, but it is now instant cast with the trait that has been applied to it. Despair is still going to take all your MP, same potency of 330. It's going to grant you Astral Fire 3, and obviously can only be executed under the effect of Astral Fire. Umbral Soul, rocking and rolling here at level 76. It's going to grant you 1 Umbral Ice and an Umbral Heart. It nullifies Astral Fire's MP cost, increasing fire spells, and reduces the MP cost for Flare by 1/3. So you still have access to Umbral Soul. Xenoglossy has its potency reduced from 750 to 700, still costing 1 polygon, still level 80. Now here's where we're going to get into the new spells for the Black Mage. High Fire 2 is going to deal fire damage with a potency of 100 to the target and all enemies nearby it. Additional effect is going to grant you Astral Fire 3, removing Umbral Ice. It's going to last for 15 seconds. Astral Fire bonus is going to grant Enhanced Flare, and that's going to last for 30 seconds with a maximum of 2 charges. Then you've got High Blizzard 2, deals ice damage with a potency of 100 to the target and all enemies nearby it. Additional effect grants Umbral Ice 3 and removes Astral Fire, and that's going to last for 15 seconds, and those are both at level 82. Then at level 86, you get Amplifier. This is going to grant you Polygon. Can only be executed while under the effect of Astral Fire or Umbral Ice. So if you want a free Polygon, there you go. And then at level 90, you get Paradox. Paradox is going to deal unexpected damage with the potency of 510. Astral Fire bonus is going to refresh the duration of Astral Fire and 40% chance to grant Firestarter. Your Firestarter effect, Next Fire 3, is going to require no time cast or MP, and that's going to give you a 30% chance there. Umbral Ice bonus is going to require no MP to cast and refreshes the duration of Umbral Ice. can only be executed while under the effect of Paradox. And that is the biggest and most coolest spell that I've seen the Black Mage rock to date. Those are the traits, those are the skills, and that is the Black Mage for Endwalker. I had an absolute blast diving in to this job, and I can't wait to see how my controller guides here in the future are going to change. While I was able to really fit my current controller guide really naturally into this job, the traits alone, the changes alone, make me really kind of want to rethink how I've got that laid out to hopefully get an even more comfortable, even more, I guess, damage wielding job in the game itself. So stay tuned to the channel for more information on that when those those guides roll out at some point in November and beyond. Guys, if you like this video, be sure to give it a like. If you feel like I earned it, be sure to subscribe for more Final Fantasy and MMO RPG content. I do thank you for watching, for listening, and I hope that you have a fantastic day, and I hope that I will see you in my next video. But until then, take care.